All this man wants is to find food for his children. Relief organizations say more than 4 million Syrians, more than half of them children, do not have enough to eat. There is a humanitarian crisis in many regions, but it is particularly dire in the suburbs of Damascus. The opposition-controlled countryside of the capital has been under siege by government forces for almost a year. People there say children are malnourished as food is increasingly hard to find.
Dying is better than living this life of humiliation. There is no food, there is nothing left to eat. We are having to endure daily heavy bombardment, and on top of that, we are dying of hunger.
The suburbs are some of the hardest hit areas in the war. They are also the site of the August 21 chemical attack that a UN report found included the use of the nerve agent sarin. But aid agencies say they have not had access to these areas. For over a year now, government forces have been trying to retake the suburbs and push out rebels who are just a few kilometers from Syrian President Bashar al-Assad's seat of power. They have managed to stop their advances in some strategic districts that are now effectively blockaded. But the rebellion around the capital has still not been defeated. The rebels have been able to maintain their defenses in some areas, but their main arms supply routes into the suburbs were cut off by the army a few months ago. Nevertheless, several rebel brigades announced a new offensive to try to break the army blockade.
We agreed to set up a joint operational command to oversee the battle for Damascus and its countryside. We call on our brothers in the opposition to join us to achieve this goal. We want to end this blockade.
But activists and people who live in these besieged areas have little hope a new assault would end their suffering. They want food and medical supplies to reach them so that they can stay alive. Aid agencies are pushing for all parties to agree to a ceasefire so that assistance can reach those in need and prevent the risk of what they are warning could be mass starvation. Childeren, Al Jazeera, Beirut.